It's been days since Evelyn attacked Tara, since Galadjuro spoke to her. Days of fruitless searching for Maddie, and Tara is still trying to act like she's okay. She pores over every piece of local history we can find. She makes jokes, she tells stories. She pretends she isn't losing hope every day we don't find Maddie. She's lying. It's her body that tells the truth. She pulls me closer when she's under me. She stays in my arms for longer than she did before. I doubt she even notices she's doing it. Years spent hiding my emotions have made me pretty good at spotting it in someone else. Is she doing it for me? Herself? Both? That's the only thing I still don't know.
Morgan?
I can hear Tara's voice calling from the kitchen. I smell the smoke a second later. I'm out of the bathroom before I realize I'm moving. My mind fills up with a million possibilities. What if Evelyn's already here? What if the cabin's burning? What if...
I think I owe you a new pan.
Tara is fidgeting nervously. A cloud of black smoke billows from the pan on the stove. I can't even tell what it was supposed to be in it. Whatever it was, it's charcoal now.
You guys don't have, a fire extinguisher here, right?
I let out the breath I was holding. I shouldn't have panicked like that. I'm just glad she's okay. We don't need one. Let me see that. I walk past her and grab the pan. Before she can say anything, I open the door and toss whatever was in the pan into the snow. I run a rag under the tap and toss it to her. Why don't you get the smoke off the wall before it stains? I'll take care of this. I'm still coming down from my adrenaline. I have to make a conscious effort to say it as gently as possible. I don't want her to think I'm mad at her. She seems happy being given something to do. She smiles and tries to salute, but with the wrong hand, and ends up slapping herself in the face with the wet rag. I swear she does stuff like that on purpose sometimes. While Tara scrambles to duty, I start washing out the charred remains still clinging to the pan. After a few moments, Tara shuffles nervously behind me. You don't cook much, do you?
Does not cooking at all fall under not cooking much? Because if so, yeah.
Then why did you... Her eyes flick toward the counter and I follow her gaze. There's a tray sitting there. It's a mess. A piece of clumsily sliced fruit, a cup of liquid, blackened toast. You were making me breakfast. Tara looks guilty.
Yeah, well, you know.
She looks down and starts fidgeting with her shirt.
I figure that since we're leaving the cabin, it'd be a waste to just leave it here and, I don't know. You've really been helpful and stuff. I thought maybe I could pay you back a bit, but I just wasted the food anyway.
My mind reels. I can't utter a single sound. I don't really have any friends. The few people I'm on good terms with would never do something like this. Evelyn stopped preparing meals for me the instant I could make them for myself. And even when she did, they weren't much more than leftovers of what she made for herself.
It was a dumb idea. Sorry.
My body moves on its own. My arms outstretch and wrap around hers. Before I know it, I'm reaching up to her face and pressing my lips against hers. The minute I actually process what I'm doing, I pull away and drop my arms to my sides. We both stand there awkwardly for a moment before I'm able to speak. Thank you.
You're thanking me for screwing up making breakfast?
I'm thanking you for trying.
Oh, right. I guess that makes sense.
I doubt someone like her would understand why this means so much to me. She has good people in her life. Random acts of kindness must be commonplace for her. But for me, I've never been treated as anything but a tool. I've spent years turning the idea in my head, thinking that I deserved it. It was easy enough to believe. So this moment means more to me than I could possibly say. Even if I actually knew how to talk to people, I couldn't do it. The best I can do is try to repay it in kind. Maybe we could make something together. After all your videos have taught me, I'd be happy to teach you a few things in return.
Are you sure? I mean, I know literally nothing about cooking. All I do is slow you down.
She's protesting, but the smile on her face makes it clear how much she really wants to do this. Seeing that grin in person is way more radiant than seeing it through a screen. That's okay. I'll take the lead and we can go slow. I take her hand again. She squeezes it and I squeeze back. Now let's start with teaching you how to use a stove without burning the house down.
That's probably a good one to know, yeah.
I grab some sausages from the fridge and toss them in the now clean pan before putting it back on the stove. Okay, so you're going to want to have the heat a little lower than the absolute maximum for this one.
I figured the higher it went, the faster it would cook.
Technically, you're right. That's also how you burn things beyond recognition. I move behind her and put her hand on the pan handle, pressing against her back to move her hand side to side. Keeping it in motion is a good way to make sure it cooks evenly.
Right, cool.
I take her through the basics. She handles instructions surprisingly well. It helps that she's eager to learn. After the sausage, we move to toast, then coffee. She's sloppy, but she makes it work. You're doing great. I'm impressed.
Well, doing it with you is a pretty effective motivator.
Very subtle.
When am I anything but?
We finish up the eggs, then sit down to eat. She powers through her meal, finishing before I'm even halfway through. Holy shit, that was so good! Looks like you're a better cook than you thought.
Oh please, that was like 25% me at most. But thank you. I definitely learned enough to surprise Mads when she gets back.
The mention of Maddie instantly sucks some of the joy from the room. Nice as this has been, I know it's only temporary shelter from the clouds still looming over our heads. Her smile doesn't falter at all, but I can see her eyes twitch slightly after she speaks. I wish I could think of something reassuring to say. I'd try just agreeing with her, but I know how hollow it would sound. But once again, she pushes it back inside. I know how that feels, although I have a much harder time smiling afterwards.
And the best part is that we don't have to wash any of the dishes since we're leaving after this.
We're washing the dishes.
Oh, come on.
She reluctantly drags herself over to the sink. I remain seated and continue eating. A few seconds later, Tara reappears casually.
Hey, quick question. It should be okay if we leave Maddie's stuff here, right? I'd hate for her to come back and be missing all her super important films.
It should be fine. With us out of the way, Evelyn won't have any reason to focus on the cabin anymore.
Hey, Morgan, can you come here for a sec?
I jog down the hallway to find her staring at a hefty black bag sitting in the hall. What's that?
It's Madd's camera equipment. I was just thinking that maybe we should shoot a video before we leave.
Like, film an episode?
Not quite. More like a summary of what's happened for reference. Kind of like a black box in a plane. That way there'll be a record. Something that could help anyone else who decides to look into this.
A dead drop. She flinches at the term. It's probably a bit too morbid for her liking. It's worth a shot, I can help you film it.
Are you sure? That's a professional quality camera. Even I don't know how half the shit it does works. That's Maddie's domain.
I'm sure I can figure something out. It can't be too hard to get the basics down. I grab the bag and sling it over my shoulder, then grab the tripod with my other hand.
All right, let's get to work. That broken English, though. Okay, so wait, let me...
Hang on, I think I've got it.
No, that's just gonna access the archive. We need to get the focus right for the main shoot.
Things aren't going well. Neither of us can figure out how to work the camera. My only contribution has been getting it on the tripod. Most of the terms Tara's using fly over my head. She claims that Maddie's the one who knows all about how to make it work, but even her limited understanding is worlds away from mine. I'm sorry. I wish I could do more.
Don't sweat it, you're doing fine. Maddie never taught me much. She, makes the videos. I just do the talking.
Her voice is quiet. Maybe this was a bad idea. All it seems to be doing is making her miss Maddie even more. And I'm sure as hell not good enough to replace her. At least I finally managed to get the camera to a point where it's actually filming.
Oh shit, you got it!
She's humoring me. The picture isn't even close to being in focus, and I somehow managed to make the colors even more washed out than this place already is. It doesn't look anything like her most recent videos. I can do better. There are still settings I haven't tried. Tara claps me on the back. A bit too hard. She's so obvious.
Don't worry about it. This stuff is confusing. Maybe the blur will make it look more mysterious or something.
Sure. She leans against a tree in front of the camera. On her signal, I hit what I hope is record. I give her a slight nod and she's off.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to our very special, not quite an episode of Paranormal. We've had a lot of crazy shit go down in the past couple weeks. So Morgan, who's Morgan you ask? She's our inside woman, as they say. We wouldn't have found any of the stuff I'm about to tell you if not for her, and she's been a hell of an assistant too. Mads would be manning the camera right now, but she's not here right now. It's complicated.
Her voice dips for a moment before launching back into her professional cheeriness.
So, where to begin? Well, I suppose I should start with a little story about a spirit, also known as the only time I've ever had fun in a church.
She launches into her story without having to take a single moment to think about it. I feel like I'm watching her transform in front of me. Her uncertainty is gone. Her anxiety is gone. That melancholy she's had inside her since Maddie disappeared is gone. It's like she's glowing. I wish I could tell her how wonderful it is to see, but I know I'd never be able to say something like that.
Anyway, that's pretty much all we have right now. Hopefully Mads will be back soon.
I hear her voice shake for a fraction of a second. She corrects it instantly, but I know I heard it.
I'm not gonna lie, there's some bad shit out here. Maddie got caught up in it somehow, but it's nothing that's gonna last. Am I in danger too? Sure. But that's nothing new for me. You're talking to a girl who's nearly got eaten by a bear because park rangers suck at their jobs. I'm just making this so we don't have to have as much to go over when we find her. The try out here is killer on my throat, so I could use the help.
She coughs loudly, but I'm not sure if it's real or just for emphasis.
And Evelyn, if you find this, know that we're gonna make you pay for what you did.
Her voice breaks again. This time it's unmistakable. Maybe this was a bad idea. She takes a minute before she starts talking again. Her voice is shaky. Her face is a strange expression I've never seen before.
I'll do whatever I have to do, you know? If you're watching, I want you to know that. Can you just give me my friend back? Can you just do that now? I'll do anything. I swear. I don't care if we don't find any more evidence. I don't need anything else from this trip. I just want Maddie back.
I just can't watch this anymore. I leave the camera and run to her side. I throw my arms around her and I feel her body sink into mine. I'm sorry, Tara. I'm so sorry. I wrap my arms tighter as I feel her legs give out. It's all I can do to keep her upright as she starts to sob into my shoulders. Unease settles in my chest. I've never had to do anything like this before. But I have to try. I have to do something. Everything that's happened has been my fault. There's probably nothing I could say that would make up for that. Maybe I shouldn't say anything. Just hold her like this. Physical comfort is all I'm good at, after all. I'll take care of her. It's the least I can do. I lower her down to the ground slowly. I don't even feel the snow on me. Take your time. Getting it out will help.
This is all such bullshit. Why would she take Mads? She wasn't causing any trouble.
She grabs handfuls of my sweater where her hands rest against me. I don't stop her.
I could have helped her. I could have talked this out with her, but I didn't. And because of that, I
squeeze her tighter. There's nothing else I can do. I give up on thinking of something to say. I'm better at saying nothing anyway.
I should have let her stay home. I should have listened to her when we were out here.
She pulls away from me and sits down in the snow. Then she smiles. It's a bitter, broken smile. The kind of smile you can only form when you don't know what else to do.
I just keep ruining things, huh?
Tara, you aren't the reason the two of you came here. I was. This is on me. She has to know I'm right. Deep down, I don't want her to hate me, but I'd much rather she hate me than hate herself. So I hold Tara. I hold her with as much tenderness as I can, and she breaks into heaving sobs on my shoulder. I feel her body rocking with loss and pain, and her hot tears fall and freeze on the ground below us. I let her feel the extent of her grief. It's a pain I can never understand. The pain of losing someone important. Meeting Tara, I've only just started to know what that bond is like, but it can't compare to what she has with Maddie. Tara's wailing grows muffled as she buries her face in my chest and hugs me tightly. Hesitantly, I stroke her hair in return. Time passes. Eventually, Tara grows quiet. She sniffles and shakes in my arms, but relaxes with each breath. I never found any words to say. We sit there together until finally Tara lifts herself from me. Her face red and puffy, she gives me a weak smile and wipes her face. I start to pack up the camera as she cleans herself up. It seems like this might have helped after all. I should probably just leave it be and head back with her, but one thought keeps burning in my head. I have to tell her. Tara?
Huh?
I'm going to make sure you get Maddie back. No matter what. She stares at me like I just spoke to her in another language. Then she finally gives me a smile that doesn't have an ounce of sorrow in it.
I know. If anyone can, it's you.
I'm not sure what she means by that. I hope she's not thinking of the same thing I am. She probably thinks I'm just talking big, like I'm some brave knight about to kill a dragon. I wish that was true. but I'm thinking about the one way I know I can save her. The only way I can. And that's to give Evelyn what she wants. Me. We don't talk on the ride back. Tara doesn't even fidget. I figured the wet pants would make sitting still even harder for her than it already is, but she's completely still. It isn't until we stop in the village that she speaks.
I hope you don't think I'm mad at you for bringing us out here.
You aren't?
Nah, I know you just wanted to make something good happen for all of us. Things just didn't work out that way is all. Besides,
Her voice trails off into mumbles. After a moment, she takes a deep breath and restarts.
Coming here meant I got to meet you. I'm sure as hell not complaining about that.
I'm sure you've met plenty of fans in person.
Yeah, but you're not just a fan. Not to me. You're a lot more than that.
What are you saying? She suddenly looks away from me. I think she's trying to hide the fact that she's blushing. Poorly.
I don't know. Just, I haven't ever really met anyone like you before is all.
For a moment, strange thoughts fill my head. I want her to say more than that. I don't know what I want it to be, I just want more. But I know better than to ask for that. If it helps, I haven't met anyone like you before either.
Well, I could have told you that one. I am one of a kind, you know.
No argument there. I'm having a hard time looking at her. I don't know why. This is a new feeling. I push it away and reach for the carriage door instead. There's a weird air in the carriage now. Let's get inside. We've still got to figure out how much of your stuff we can fit in my closet.
I mean, I could just leave some of my clothes on the floor. That's what I do at home.
Not happening. I like being able to see my floor.
I can't blame a girl for trying.
I can't help laughing. She laughs too. She's going to be okay. I know she will. And I'm going to make sure she stays that way.